Well, a very good afternoon and welcome to the Boulevard Hull for this afternoon's Stones Bitter Championship game between Hull and Leigh. Both sides made poor starts to the season, having won only one of their first three fixtures. Hull having narrowly defeated Wakefield here at the Boulevard and being beaten at Castleford and Halifax. Leigh, of course, scored their victory at home against Warrington and have been beaten away at St Helens and at home by Wigan. So with the two captains tossing up at the centre, with our referee Mr John Holsworth, resplendent in the referee's new black and orange striped shirts, we'll quickly go through the two sides for this afternoon. Hull line-up as follows: number 1 Steve Hick, 2 Carl McCoyd, 3 Dane O'Hara, 4 Paul Eastwood, 5 Michael Brand, 6 Gary Pearce, 7 Kevin Dick. The forwards: Mick Gibbons at number 8, 9 Billy Mallinson, 10 Skipper Lee Crooks, 11 Steve Crooks, 12 Paul Wellham and 13 Mick Crane. And the Hull substitutes are at 14 John Sharp and 15 Wayne Proctor. We'll give you the Leigh side when there's a break in play. Referee Holsworth gets the proceedings underway. Brian Gelling takes the ball for Leigh from the kickoff. So Leigh in possession for the first time, playing from right to left, being skippered today by Australian Ian Schubert in the absence of Derek Pike. So Wayne Atherton on the first drive for Leigh. Leigh in centre field in their own half. There goes Howell. The reception committee's waiting. Kick comes in from Schubert. Taken by fullback Hick. So possession for Hull. We'll quickly give you the Leigh side. They line up 1 Andy Collier, 2 Neil McCulloch, 3 John Henderson, 4 Chris Johnson, 5 Phil Fox, 6 John Kerr, 7 Mike Davis. And the forwards at 8 Brian Gelling, 9 a trialist Hooker, 10 Tony Cottrell, 11 Ian Schubert, 12 Gary Howell and 13 Wayne Atherton. The Leigh substitutes this afternoon: 14 Phil Johnson and 15 Ray Tabburn. But it's Hull in possession with second row forward Crooks. Last one indicates the referee. Good tattle on loose forward Crane. Andy Collier made that ball his own. He injured his own teammate, but it was a good catch by the young fullback. Wayne Atherton tries to reverse the roles, tattled on the halfway line by the half-back pair of Dick and Pearce. Mike Davis now gets it out to Chris Johnson. Johnson playing in the unaccustomed role of centre this afternoon for Leigh. Fox it acting half-back to Davis. Out to Kerr. Kerr dodges away from Crooks, but doesn't get away from second row forward Wellham. Davis at acting half-back. Gelling now takes play into the Hull half. Referee Holsworth indicates the last tattle. Trialist Hooker goes to the acting half-back position. Schubert gets it out to Davis, who is heavily tattled by Kevin Dick, the ex-Leeds scrum half, who joined the Hull club this week. He's making his debut, and Mike Davis, the Leigh scrum half, lies injured on the ground as Leigh get the first free kick of the game. It comes after just 3 minutes. So it'll be Chris Johnson to take this first penalty kick of the game. Leigh have only been victorious here at the Boulevard 6 times in 32 visits, and of the 12 previous fixtures in the First Division between the two sides, both at Leigh and at Hull, Leigh have only won once. So Chris Johnson looking to open their account. 3.5 minutes of the game gone. Fails, and it's taken by fullback Hick. He's allowed to race beyond his own 25 before he's brought down. So Hull now on the charge with Mick Gibbons, on loan from Featherstone Rovers, also making his debut for the club. As the half-backs Dick and Pearce. There goes Wellham. Tattlemai, Gelling and Cottrell. Attempted break by Mick Crane. Well stopped by the trialist Hooker. Dick now. It's a take to second row forward Steve Crooks, but he's well tattled. And Leigh have contained Hull inside their own half with these 5 tackles. Ball's taken by Fox. Crane makes the tackle. Fox wasn't given much yardage with which to work then. And possession for Pearce. This Welsh Rugby Union standoff. Hull in possession now. Mallinson out to Steve Crooks. Leigh read it well. Hull in possession, midway between the halfway line and the Leigh 25. On to Leigh Crooks. Good tattle comes in from Schubert. Schubert and Crooks, of course, were teammates in Australia during the summer. Referee penalises Ian Schubert in the tattle there for ball pinching after the tattle had been completed. Hull take a quick tap. So Hull in possession in the Leigh 25 for the first time, now with Dick. On to Wellham. Good defence from Leigh. There goes Dick from the arc in half-back. Stopped under his own pulse, under the Leigh pulse. Crane now, good attack from Hull. Fine tattle coming in from Chris Johnson. Solid defence required here from Leigh. Hull move it left with Dick. Crane, and Wellham goes through a big gap, and in fact is stopped short by fullback Collier. Good play by Leigh. Kick ahead comes in from Dick. Leigh are penalised for obstruction against Hooker Mallinson, and Hull get a free kick right under the Leigh pulse. So the ex-Welsh Rugby Union player Gary Pearce will take his first kick at goal for his new club Hull from right in front of the Leigh pulse. We've had 6.5 minutes of the game, no score at the moment. So Pearce gets his first points for his new club and opens the scoring here at the Boulevard in this afternoon's Stones Bitter Championship. And with 7 minutes of the game gone, the scoreline now reads Hull 2 points, Leigh 0. So is Ian Schubert with the restart for Leigh. Directly out of play, gives Hull their 3rd penalty of the game, back at the centre spot. And Mallinson will take the tap. On to Gibbons, the on loan prop. Mallinson quickly goes to acting halfback. To Dick. On to Steve Crooks. Good tattle by Gelling, but he's allowed to get the ball away to Leigh Crooks. So Hull back on the attack, in possession in the Leigh half with Crane. Ball's thrown away, picked up by Mallinson. Dick now, out to Leigh Crooks. Kick comes in from Leigh Crooks, it's a Leigh player, bounces kindly for fullback Collier. Collier steps out to Leigh Crooks' tattle but doesn't get past Dick. Leigh forwards a little slow there to help their young fullback. So the trialist Hooker now out to Mike Davis. Davis tattled by Leigh Crooks. And a punch up here between Leigh Crooks and Mike Davis. And John Kerr is now involved with McCoy, and the referee has got to sort this one out from the word goal. The original incident was certainly between Leigh Crooks and Mike Davis. No need for anyone else to get involved. The referee now, John Holsworth, now speaks to both touch judges. Well, this is not the type of incident we like to see in rugby league. We've had just over 9 minutes of the first half, and this is a big conversation between Mr. Holsworth and his two officials. Well, he calls out Leigh Crooks and Mike Davis, who were the first two people involved. Cyprian Schubert goes to hear what the referee is saying to his scrum half. Leigh Crooks, of course, is the Hull skipper. Well, it's a long lecture for both players, and now John Kerr is being called up as well. So the penalty goes to Leigh for the initial punch being thrown by the Hull skipper Leigh Crooks. Well, I would hope the players have got that out of their system now and settle down to see some football. Ian Schubert takes the penalty and finds touch midway between the halfway line and the Hull 25. So the trialist Hooker takes it on, taps it on to Brian Gelling. Referee warns Mick Crane for an attempted eye tattle. Mike Davis goes the reverse side. Sit out to the supporting Atherton. Loses possession, picked up by McCoy, and Hull are back in possession on their own 25. Dick now to Gibbons, but Leigh are penalised for offside. And Hull will have their fourth penalty of the game, and Pearce will kick for touch on this near side. Takes play up to just inside the Leigh half. A reminder that we've had 11.5 minutes of this first half. Hull leading by 2 points to 0 at the moment. Gibbons on the drive. Good tackle coming in from Gelling. Mallinson out to Dick. On to Wellham. Mallinson goes to acting halfback. Reverse the roll to Crane. Good tackle coming in from Gelling. Crooks now on to Wellham. Second row pair combining well, but Leigh's defence solid at the moment. Crooks to Leigh Crooks. Big gap for the fullback. On to O'Hara. Inside to the supporting. In fact, Dane O'Hara is wearing the number 4. And Hull increase their lead with a 12th minute try under the Leigh post by centre Dane O'Hara. Well, the initial break came from number 3, Paul Eastwood, but it was Steve Hick, the fullback, who was put through a gap to initially open the Leigh defence up just inside their own half. So that's the first try of the game, which Gary Pearce has no trouble converting. And with 13 minutes of the first half gone, the scoreline here at the Boulevard now reads Hull 8 points, Leigh 0. So, Ian Schubert, Leigh captain for the day, back at the centre with the restart. Ball is dropped by McCoy. Play on, says the referee. and Leigh stopping him inside his own 25. So now can Leigh do a containing job on Hull? Hull with Gibbons. That'll comes in from Atherton and Cottrell. Dickard acting half-back, gets it onto Steve Crooks. He's still stopped just short of the 25. Crane. Pass is dropped, picked up for Leigh by Schubert. Good attacking position now for Leigh. Right in front of the Hull post. There goes Gelling. Leigh 15 yards short at the moment. Trailly Stuka goes it alone, makes 5 more yards, but Leigh getting through tackles too quickly. Davis now. Howell runs into Dick's tackle, and the whole defence is solid. Mike Davis now. Cottrell on the break. Tony Cottrell dodges round, and Leigh score a try from a very poor pass from Mike Davis, tipped on by John Kerr, but Tony Cottrell was there to pick up the pieces and open Leigh's account with a try under the Hull post. Well, that certainly puts Leigh back in this game. They reply with a try just 3 minutes after Hull's first try, and Chris Johnson will attempt the conversion from in front of the Hull post. So Chris Johnson, the Leigh centre, adds the conversion. And with just 16 minutes of the first half gone, Hull now lead Leigh by 8 points to 6. So Leigh Crooks, the Hull skipper and number 10, is back at the centre with the restart. Hull get possession from the kick-off, using the wind, which is in Leigh's favour at the moment, to hold the ball, but it's Gibbons now looking to pass. Gets it on to Leigh Crooks, a wild pass to Pearce, on to Eastwood. Good tackle coming in from Johnson. McCoy goes to acting halfback, gets it on to Steve Crooks. Good tackle coming in from Howell. Kevin Dick now, on to Leigh Crooks. Intercepted by Wayne Atherton for Leigh. So Leigh back in possession in their own half. Leigh move it right onto Schubert. Mike Davis to Kerr. Kerr gets it back inside to Schubert. On to Henderson, but Leigh go back a little whilst in possession. Pull on them like flies. Mike Davis now. On to Gelling. That appeared to be an attempted eye tackle from Steve Crooks. The referee speaks to him about it, but doesn't penalise him. Collier now out to Howell. Wellham in on that tackle, and Leigh are still 10 yards inside their own half. Kick will come in from Schubert. Ball bounces on the point. Hits the post, forces fullback Hick to play it. He loses John Kerr. Referee gets in the way of play, but the fullback is stopped just inside his own 25. Move it left now to Pearce. Good tackle by Schubert. Here comes Wellham. Leigh are in again in numbers. Now out to Crane. Inside to Crooks, he drops the ball. Knock on, says the referee. And we'll have our first scrum of the game in centre field, and it comes in the 19th minute of the first half. Mike Davis to feed for Leigh. Leigh win it, but are pushed off it. Fullback Hick, well tackled by Kerr. On to Crane. On to Mallinson. Still with Gibbons. The forward pass to wingman. McCoy. And McCoy and Kerr clash again. Dick gets it out to Leigh Crooks. He's stopped by Schubert on the halfway line. Dick out to Steve Crooks, to Pierce. He's looking for the gap, but Leigh stop him just inside their own half. Last tattle indicates the referee. Here comes Dick, kicks ahead. Taken by Collier. Collier on a break here. Out to John Kerr. John Kerr keeps going. Keeps going. Well tackled by Pierce. The Welshman did well to get across. Good attacking position for Leigh with Chris Johnson. He runs into McCoy. Throws the ball away aimlessly to a Hull player. So Hull in possession in their own 25. Crooks tries to come away with it. Stopped by Howell and Fox. Here comes Gibbons. Coming up to exactly halfway through the first half. Hull leading by 8 points to 6. Here comes Leigh Crooks. It's it out to Steve Crooks. Eastwood again, dodges, gets it out to Brand. Good tackle from Cottrell, but he held on. There was nothing malicious about that. The referee has spoken to 2 Hull players about high tackles without penalising them, but the touch judge on the far side is going to interject and report Tony Cottrell for what looked a perfectly fair tackle from here. And in fact, he's calling Cottrell up and skipper Schubert. And Hull will no doubt get their 5th penalty of the game. Penalties now 5-2 in Hull's favour. And Pierce will kick for touch on the far side. Dick's playing up almost to the Leigh 25. And Mallison will take the tap. On to Gibbons. He goes ploughing in. He's allowed to make 10 yards towards that Leigh line. Mallinson to Dick. On to Crooks. Schubert once again the man to stop Crooks passing in the tattle. Mallinson now to Crane. On to Dick. To Crane. Good tattling again. This time Wayne Atherton and John Kerr. And another penalty conceded by Leigh for punching in the tattle. This time the guilty man is John Kerr. And Leigh really giving away foolish penalties in this position. Pierce will no doubt go for goal. Hull hanging on to a 2-point advantage at the moment. We're 22 minutes into the game. Pierce attempting to double that lead with this penalty kick at goal from just inside the Leigh 25. So Pierce drags it wide of the far post. Taken for Leigh by Cottrell. Cottrell gets it out well to the trialist who clears the 25. Stopped by Wellerman Dick, but that was a let off for Leigh. They gain possession with Gelling. Gelling looking to pass the ball, no one near enough. Atherton goes to acting halfback. On to Schubert. Howell, and that certainly looked worse than Tony Cottrell's tackle of a few minutes ago, but it goes unpunished. Mike Davis now with the kick. Bounces kindly for Hick. Hull fullback links into his line. Tackle half stopped by Kerr. Schubert completes the tackle.
Get on, Judge.
Pierce now out to Leigh Crooks. Finally drops for Steve Crooks, who gets it away to Gibbons, but Cottrell makes the tackle on the halfway line. It's possession to Hull. Mallinson attacked in half-back. Sit out to Wellham. Good defence again by the Leigh forwards. Mallinson out to Crane. Crane brings in Crooks. He gets it on to the supporting Dick. Dick still going, reaches the Leigh 25. Finally stopped by Cottrell. Wellham attacked in half-back. Out to Crane. Crane to Steve Crooks. On to Leigh Crooks. Well, a pass out wide to McCoy, who goes in at the corner. The Leigh defence was stretched, and Hull get their second try of the game in the 25th minute to now lead Leigh by 12 points to 6. Well, I must apologise. The announcer tells me that the try scorer there is Michael Brand, who we were given as the number 2 in the team changes. He's in fact number 5, so I better tell you the whole three-quarter line again, because it's totally changed from the one we gave at the start of the match. It is in fact 2 Michael Brand, 3 Paul Eastwood, 4 Dane O'Hara and 5 Carl McCoy. So Leigh Crooks from this near touchline. Well wide with that attempt, but 25 and a half minutes of the game gone. Hull now lead Leigh by 12 points to 6. So it'll be Ian Schubert once again with the restart for Leigh. Well, it certainly appeared to go backwards to me, but the referee has given a knock-on against Paul Eastwood, and Hull will be forced to drop out from under their own posts. Well, certainly I thought the referee was wrong on that occasion, but Gary Pearce drops out. Well taken by the trialist Hooker. Takes play back into the Hull 25. Can Leigh reply once again as the Hooker loses the ball in the tackle? There goes Galling off a forward pass. The referee is nowhere near play at the moment. So, another. Sit out to Schubert. Schubert takes play to within 10 yards of the Hull line. Schubert takes it himself. Mike Davis goes without the ball, and it's possession to Hull on their own line. Here comes Dane O'Hara, but he's allowed to get the ball out in the tackle to loose forward McCrane. Hull still in possession in their own 25. Here comes Wellham. Strong run by the second forward, but good defence by Leigh. Mallinson attacked in half-back. On to Gibbons.
Into him, Leigh, not bad.
Good tackle from his opposite number, Brian Gelling. Kick comes in from Dick. Gives the first touch to Neil McCulloch. He runs straight into O'Hara and McCoy. There goes the trialist Hooker. Sit out to McCulloch. McCulloch stopped on the Hull 25, but Leigh are back on the attack in a good position. Mike Davis now to Kerr. Atherton tries to straighten the move up. Gibbons and Dick in on the tackle. Kerr inside to Howell. No one with him.
Come on, Leigh.
Offside. Penalty kick for Leigh this time for offside against Hooker, Billy Mallinson, as Gary Howell tapped that ball to himself. And Chris Johnson will once again go for goal and attempt to reduce the arrears. Leigh trail by 6 points at the moment. And we've had 28.5 minutes of the first half. So Chris Johnson from just to the left of the Hull posts. Puts it between the centre of those Hull posts. Gets his second goal of the afternoon, and Leigh now trail Hull by 12 points to 8 with 29 minutes of the first half gone. So it's Leigh Crooks back at the centre with the restart for Hull. Schubert allows to go straight out of play, and Leigh will get their fourth penalty of the first half back at the centre spot. So John Kerr quickly taps it to himself, brings Chris Johnson on the break, inside to the trialist Hooker. So Leigh now in possession, 10 yards inside Hull territory.
Number 2 and number 6.
Schubert makes 5 yards, loses the ball in the tackle, dropped on by Leigh Crooks for Hull. Mallinson now out to Dick, to Steve Crooks, fine tackle from Mike Davis. Dick attacked in half-back, goes it alone, well stopped by Cottrell. Mallinson now, he goes it alone, he can't escape the clutches of Howell. Beg your pardon, it's Tony Cottrell again. So here comes Crane now. Last tackle indicates the referee.
Get back, number 6.
So what will Hull do from this position? Here comes Pearce with the kick. And he finds touch inside the Leigh 25. A fine kick from the ex-Welsh Rugby Union standoff. We'll scrum it inside the Leigh 25. Mike Davis will feed. And Hull push Leigh off the ball once again. Hull move it left with Pearce. On to Brand. Well, that was certainly a forward pass to his other wingman McCoy. Hull now on the attack in the Leigh 25, camped on the Leigh line. Mallinson gets it out to Steve Crooks. Good defence from Leigh. Intercepted the ball by the trialist Hooker. Leigh recover the situation. Now can they clear their own lines? Comes Wayne Atherton. Almost breaks clear. Good tackle coming in, I think, from Mallinson. In fact, it was Leigh Crooks. Picked up for Leigh by Chris Johnson. Once more, sloppy play by Leigh on their own 25-yard line. Gives us our third scrum of the game. Down behind on ball to Hull with Dick to feed. They win the ball again. Here comes Pearce. Gets out of 2 tackles, but not the third. Howell makes the tackle. Brand now. Out to Crane. Steve Crooks goes the other way, dodges under one tackle. Hull on a fine attacking position here. Mallinson to Gibbons. Fine play by the Leigh skipper Schubert. Read that one well. Crane attacked in halfback. Can Leigh hold them out? There goes Dick, and that was forward again. But it's still picked up by Dane O'Hara for Hull. Hull still on the attack, close to the Leigh line. Dick attacked in halfback, out to Crane. Good tackle by Mike Davis. Last tackle indicates referee Holdsworth. There goes Crane. And the try is given. The ball sat up for him. And loose forward. Mick Crane gets Hull's third try of the match to increase their lead to 8 points. They now lead Leigh by 16 points to 8. So Gary Pearce comes back into the goal kicking role. Leigh Crooks haven't taken the last one off the touchline, but Pearce has 2 to his credit so far this afternoon. And that makes it 3 and increases the Hull lead to 10 points. They now lead Leigh by 18 points to 8 with 5 minutes of the first half remaining. So Ian Schubert back at the centre with the restart. Half stopped by full-back kick. Picked up by Eastwood, who reaches the 25-yard line. Good clearing run by the Hull centre. We'll move it left to Gibbons. Mallinson attacked in half back to Hick. Hick on to Steve Crooks. Leigh Crooks throws the ball away. It's picked up by Wellham. Wellham almost makes a break there, but Leigh quick to cover the gap. Kevin Dick now to Pearce. Pearce with the grubber kick. Picked up for Leigh by Collier. He's tackled by Brand. Chris Johnson now for Leigh. Stopped by Leigh Crooks and Mallinson. So Leigh in possession, 10 yards inside their own half with Mike Davis. Well tackled by Mallinson. Another now out to Cottrell. Good break from John Kerr for Leigh. Must pass inside to John Henderson, and John Henderson is going to score behind the Hull post. A fine try for Leigh. It comes in the 37th minute. And John Henderson is the try scorer under the Hull post. So Chris Johnson from in front of the Hull post will attempt the conversion. From that fine try by John Henderson, result of a good break by standoff John Kerr. Leigh trail by 6 points at the moment. Chris Johnson adds the conversion, so he reduces the arrears to 4 points. So with just 2.5 minutes of the first half remaining here at the Boulevard, scoreline now reads Hull 18 points, Leigh 14. So Leigh Crooks with the restart, taken this time by trialist Hooker. So can either side get another score before the interval? There goes Gelling on the charge for Leigh. Another now to Mike Davis. To Kerr, looking for the break again. Tattle this time by Dick. Johnson attacked in half back. Leigh stood still, get it to Mike Davis. Mike Davis looking to straighten the move up. Chased and tattled by Eastwood. Leigh getting through tackles too quickly at the moment. Chris Johnson bundled there. He does well, but the wingman Brand does well to get it away to Pearce. gets it on to O'Hara. Out to wingman McCoy. Fine cover by Leigh. But they're in Hull in the lead 25. Now with Mallinson to Crane to Lee Crooks. Out to Dick. Move stops in centre field. Mick Crane now. Well, the score could be vital, just so close to the interval. Pearce gets the ball out well to Crooks to Wellham. Fine tackle from Davis. Can Leigh hold them out, or can Hull get another try before the break? Crane tries to straighten the move up, and Leigh stop it. Last tackle indicates referee Holdsworth. What can Hull conjure up from here? Lee Crooks with the eye high up and under. Well, it results for a try for wingman Carl McCoy. And Hull once again increase their lead, their fourth try of the game. Carl McCoy, the try scorer this time. A bad time for Leigh to score points in the last few seconds of this first half. That comes in the 40th minute and stretches the Hull lead to 22 points to 14. So Pearce again with the conversion attempt. It drifts wide. Relief for Leigh. The margin stays at 8 points. And we've already had 45 seconds of added time in this first half. Schubert this time is too strong and gives a penalty kick away, with the ball going directly out of play over the dead ball line from the kickoff. So Mallinson with the tap, on to Gibbons. There goes the hooter to end the first half of this Stones Bitter Championship here at the Boulevard. A reminder of the half-time scoreline: Hull 22 points, Leigh 14. So on behalf of your cameraman Jeff Unsworth, this is your match commentator Derek Disley saying we hope you've enjoyed the first half and you'll rejoin us for the second. Well, welcome back to the Boulevard. A reminder of the half-time scoreline in this afternoon's Stones Bitter Championship is Hull 22 points, Leigh 14. Hull's 4 first-half tries, coming one each from Dane O'Hara, Michael Brand, Mick Crane and Carl McCoy, with 3 goals from standoff Gary Pearce. Leigh points coming from a Tony Cottrell try and a John Henderson try, with 3 goals from Chris Johnson. So all to play for in this second half. Referee John Holdsworth gets proceedings underway, and Ian Schubert kicks off. It's straight away passed out to Wellham in centre field. No substitutions during the half-time interval. Mallinson now on to Gibbons. Leigh, of course, were the team that will want a quick score in this second half to get back in the game, as Crane tries to straighten play up, runs into Schubert and Atherton. Hull in possession in centre field, 10 yards inside their own half, with Dick. Kick comes in from Kevin Dick. The ball was out of play before Phil Fox could get to it. So it should be Leigh to feed the scrum. The referee has given it to Hull. I thought the touch judge's flag had gone up before Phil Fox attempted to play the ball. Well, if it isn't possession to Leigh, it would be a knock on. Leigh eventually, I suppose, must be credited with that scrum. Chris Johnson trying to break through. He gets it inside to John Henderson. He's tackled by Lee Crooks. Of course, they were teammates in Australia during the summer. There goes McCulloch.
Get him outside,
Leigh in possession. McCulloch taps it to himself. Leigh still short of the halfway line. Gelling tries to barrage up the touchline. Makes 10 yards. Leigh in possession now in their opponent's half. Mike Davis now to Schubert. Wild pass out to Kerr. Cottrell on the break. Cottrell gets the pass out to Collier one way or another. But it was a tackle on Cottrell that forced him to lose the ball. And we'll have a second scrum of this second half. Scrums 3-0 in Hull's favour in the first half. Penalties 7-4 in Hull's favour. Kevin Dick to feed again.
Second row, ref.
Penalty to Leigh for second row feeding. And Hull fullback Steve Hick playing about with the ball. As Schubert now takes play up to the Hull 25. Another attacked in half-back. Hit on to Wayne Atherton. Leigh still in centre field, right in front of the Hull post. Davis now. Tries to break through, but Dick and Mallinson stop him. Penalty against Mike Davis for offside. And really the question to be asked is, was Hooker Mallinson interfering with the ball? But the referee says not, and John Kerr was the man dropping the ball. And Mike Davis was penalised for being in an offside position. So 3 minutes of the second half gone. Hull still lead by those 8 points. As Pearce finds touch on the far side, 5 yards outside the Hull 25. Mallinson with the tap, on to Gibbons. Dick now, on to Crane. Crane tries to go through the forward, stopped by Gelling. Dick again. Ball is dropped, but Hull recover it. Leigh Crooks with the kick. Ball sits up, picked up for Leigh by McCulloch. Tries to get past McCoy and O'Hara, but McCoy makes the tackle. Collier goes alone from the acting halfback, runs into Leigh Crooks and Eastwood. So Leigh are in possession now, 5 yards inside their own half. Gelling on the charge. Takes play into the Hull half. Mike Davis now. Out to Kerr. On to Cottrell. Good pass out, picked up for Leigh by Chris Johnson. Johnson comes inside, finally tackled by Mallinson. Leigh find their way into the Hull half. John Kerr now, out to Schubert, to Henderson. He runs into Crooks. And the Hull skipper makes a good tackle in centre field. Schubert gets it out to Gelling. It's the last tackle. Gelling trying to release the ball, but Hull stop him. So it's the first turnover of the game, and it goes in favour of Hull. Leigh Crooks now out to Gibbons. Gibbons gets it away to Pearce. Pearce gets it out to the wingman McCoy. Mallinson now. It's out to Dick. On to Crooks. Fine tackle coming in from Cottrell. He's allowed to release the ball in the tackle to Steve Crooks. Mallinson attacked in half-back to Dick. On to Crane. Crane doesn't escape the clutches of Schubert. Kick comes in from Dick. The ball beats Fox. It's a fine touch kick as Hull want to make the first substitution of the game. Bringing on number 14, John Sharp, to replace number 12, Paul Wellham, who has gone off injured. So that's our first substitute of the game. It comes in the 7th minute of the second half. Hull still leading by 22 points to 14. Leigh win the scrum, but the referee not happy. Davis to feed again. Well, Mike Davis didn't know where that ball had gone, and he'd been penalised for not retiring from the scrum. So Kevin Dick will take the tap. Out to number 2, Brand. He stopped just short. Over to score a try, it will be vital for them. Gibbons. Leigh stopped the move again. Hull move it left. On to Sharp. He's quickly in on the action. Mallinson now to Dick, to Crane, to Dick. Dick stopped by Gelling. Leigh's defence holding at the moment. Leigh Crooks with a drop kick. He loses his boot at the same time, but it increases Hull's lead to 9 points. Leigh Crooks with a drop goal comes 8 minutes into the second half, and Hull now lead Leigh by 23 points to 14. So Ian Schubert back at the centre with the restart. Taken by Crane. Gets it out to Mallinson. Dick now attacked in half back. On to Gibbons. Tattle by Schubert. Mallinson out to Dick. Good tattle by Mike Davis. Mallinson from acting half back. Good tattle by Davis again. Sharp attacked in half back this time to Crane. Crane throws it out to Pearce. Schubert and Gelling make the tattle, and Leigh have done very well on these 6 tattles. Done a good containing job on Hull. Mallinson will throw it back to Crooks, who throws it back to Dick. And the ball bounced very kindly indeed for Hull and beats Leigh's wingman McCulloch. Hull drive down the field thanks to that kick from Kevin Dick. We'll have a scrum 10 yards from the Leigh line. Possession to Hull. So can Hull get over from this position? Steve Crooks to Pearce. Good tattle coming in from Kerr. Mallinson attacked in half-back. On to Steve Crooks to Leigh Crooks. Ball lost, picked up for Leigh. Chris Johnson was the saviour. Kerr gets it out to Gelling. Gelling takes it standing still. Tattle just short of the 25. Leigh desperate for points at the moment. Schubert, the ball's knocked down. 6 more tattles as Wayne Atherton drops on it again for Leigh. Schubert now. Tries to clear the 25. Leigh a little lost at the moment. Trailers gets it out to Mike Davis. Inside to Cottrell. Cottrell gets it out to Atherton, to Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson forced out of play on the far side by Eastwood and Brand. Leigh scrum half Mike Davis, injured once again. Doesn't require any treatment. Dick to feed the scrum. Scrums 1 each in this second half. Well, Kevin Dick never attempted to retire, but the referee wants the scrum fed again. Possession to Leigh with John Kerr. Kerr loses Pearce. It's out to the supporting Henderson.
Come on, swing it about now, Leigh. Offside.
Mike Davis now out to John Kerr again. Kerr comes back inside, followed this time and tackled by Pearce. Phil Fox finds himself with the acting half-back. There goes the trialist Stuka. Takes play into the home 25. There goes Howell. Referee gives a lost ball in the tackle as Leigh want to make a substitution. Trialist Hooker to be replaced by Ray Taburn, but it won't be made before this scrum. Dick to feed. Possession to Hull. Good tackle by Kerr on Eastwood. Here comes Sharp. Leigh's defence improved to some tune in this second half so far. Mallinson dummies from the acting half-back. Good tackle coming in from the trialist. Sharp now, that's a wild pass picked up by Pearce.
Come on, Collier.
Leigh taking all the time in the world. Collier plays it behind his own line. He's tackled under his own post by O'Hara. Fox is also tackled by O'Hara, and Leigh need time to regroup. There goes the trialist Tuka. Stopped just short of the Leigh 25. Fox attacked in half-back. Schubert trying to break upfield. It's it out to the supporting Cottrell. Cottrell going, it's it inside to Kerr. Kerr still going. Kerr looking for the break. Finally the tackle comes in from full-back Hick, but a good break by the Leigh standoff. Mike Davis now, can Leigh conjure anything up here? Triley scores without the ball, terrible pass. Mallinson attacked in half-back, gets it out to Gibbons. "14 minutes of the second half gone. Possession to Hull, on to Leigh Crooks. Good tackling by Leigh. Crane, gets it out to Crooks to Sharp. Mallinson, kick comes in, or doesn't come in from Dick. Mike Davis appeals for obstruction, doesn't get it. Collier taking his time. Runs into Crane and Eastwood, clears the Leigh 25. Atherton there, tries to get it out to Chris Johnson and does do. There goes the trialist Hooker again, takes play into the Hull half. It's points Leigh want at the moment as Gelling goes on the charge. Makes 5 more yards, but Leigh getting through tackles too quickly at the moment. Mike Davis now to Cottrell. Cottrell gets it inside to Schubert. On to Kerr. Kerr wanted too much time there as Henderson overran him. Mike Davis now. Sit inside to Howell. Second turnover of the game in Hull's favour. Referee going to Ian Schubert, who looks in a dazed condition. 2 substitutions want to be made. Wayne Proctor coming on for the Hull skipper Leigh Crooks. Ray Taburn coming on for the trialist Hooker for Leigh. Lee and Schubert certainly looks in a dazed condition yet. So Kevin Dick will play the ball now for Hull, taken by Mallinson onto Steve Crooks. Mallinson gets it out to Crane. Taburn in on that tattle again. Leigh 9 points behind at the moment. Here comes Gibbons. Atherton makes the tattle, assisted by Gelling. Kick comes in from Dick. Ball sits up again. Taken by McCulloch for Leigh. Tattle by O'Hara and McCoy, but Leigh now in possession, just a couple of yards inside their own half. Mike Davis tries to dodge under Sharp's tattle, but falls to one from Crooks. Cottrell now. No one near enough to take the pass. Taburn attacked in half-back. To Mike Davis. Davis brushes off two tackles, gets it out to Taburn. Taburn tries to straighten the move up, makes 5 more yards. Howell now attacked in half-back to Davis. To John Kerr. Atherton tries to straighten the move up. Last tattle indicates referee Holsworth. Schubert. It goes straight to Wingman Brand. And he's allowed to break clear, but not of Brian Gelling's outstretched arm. So Hull now on the attack with Crooks, out to Sharp. Tattle comes in from Atherton and Davis. Hull in possession, 10 yards inside their own half. 18.5 minutes of this second half gone. Proctor, well brought down again by Davis. Mallinson goes to acting half-back to Dick. On to Crooks. Throws the ball away in the tattle, picked up by Dick. Possession for Leigh with Mike Davis. Now, can Leigh hit them on the counter? Atherton now gets it out to John Kerr. Kerr tries to run away from Eastwood but can't. Leigh just short of the Hull 25.
Offside, ref.
Fox now. Leigh looking for that bit of penetration from somewhere. There goes Schubert. Schubert stopped by his opposite number, Steve Crooks, on the Hull 25. There goes Taburn. Inside to Fox. Fox dodges clear, but gets it out to the supporting Gelling, and it's a try for Leigh. Superb break by Phil Fox, but well supported by Brian Gelling. It brings Leigh's 3rd try of the game, once again under the Hull post, and really puts Leigh back in this match with 20 minutes still remaining. So Chris Johnson from in front of the Hull post once again adds the conversion. Leigh now trail by 3 points. We move into the last quarter of the game. Hull 23 points, Leigh 20. Well, that's the first try of this second half. It's taken 20 minutes for either side to score a try. We did, of course, have 6 during the first 40 minutes. The defensive have tightened up somewhat in this second period. Pearce with the restart. Taken for Leigh by McCulloch. Runs into Proctor, but reaches the 25-yard line. Taburn attacked in half-back, now to Schubert. Inside to Gelling. Gelling loses the ball in the tattle to Proctor. And Hull immediately get the opportunity to hit Leigh on the counter with Gibbons. Tattle coming in from Schubert. Hull now on the opponent's 25-yard line. Mallinson to Dick. On to Crane. On to Crooks. Get it out to O'Hara. Kerr makes the tackle, but Hull are in the Leigh 25-yard line now. Mallinson attacked in halfback. To Crane. Sloppy tackling again by Leigh. Allow Hull to make more ground towards that Leigh line. Here comes Sharp to Crooks. Proctor, fine defence by Leigh. Last tackle indicates referee Holsworth. Sharp with a kick ahead. No interference, says the touch judge. The ball goes safely over the dead ball line, and Leigh will be quite content to tap from their own 25. So just 3 points the difference as Brian Gelling on the run for Leigh. Tarburn attacked in halfback. Brings in Cottrell. Cottrell half through, until tapped by Crane. Davis now. Schubert. Kerr almost through, gets out of the tackle of Proctor but not Sharp. Gelling now. Puts Tarburn into space. Balls everywhere. Hull on the reply, but Leigh get a penalty for offside. Well, that certainly looked anybody's ball to me. But Leigh get the penalty. Schubert gets it out to Chris Johnson. John Henderson picks it up for Leigh, but Leigh are organised at the moment. They're going in one. They're only 3 points behind. A try would put them in front. Mike Davis now. To Tabber, to Kerr. On to Gelling. Good run by Brian Gelling. Now, what can Leigh do in their opponent's 25-yard line? Atherton today. Howell. Stop 15 yards short, right in front of those Hull posts. Fox reaches over and puts Leigh in the lead for the first time in the game. It comes 24 minutes into the second half, and for the first time in the game, Leigh are ahead. They lead Hull by 24 points to 23. Well, this certainly brings back memories of 2 seasons ago when Leigh defeated Hull by 33 points to 30 in that thrilling encounter at Elton Park. Hull forced to make another substitution. McCrane is injured, and Leigh Crooks will return to the fray. So, Chris Johnson with the conversion attempt from the left of the Hull post, which he puts safely between the posts. Increases the Leigh lead to 3 points. We've got just 14 and a half minutes of this Stones Bitter Championship here at the Boulevard. The scoreline now reads Hull 23 points, Leigh 26. So Leigh Crooks from the centre. Safely taken by John Henderson over his own line. Good tackle coming in from Leigh Crooks. So all to play for now in these last 14 minutes. Mike Davis stopped in centre field on the Leigh 25. Tarburn attacked in half-back. Out to Atherton. Hull quickly up now. We've got to get amongst the Leigh forward, stop them passing. Here comes Schubert. Wild pass inside to Gelling. Gets it out again to Schubert. Schubert stops just outside the Leigh 25. Leigh taking unnecessary risks at the moment. Referee stops the clock as Schubert doesn't get up from that tattle by Proctor. So the Leigh physio, Frank Chandler, treating his skipper, Ian Schubert. Schubert a little slow to get up, waiting for the referee's word. Gelling now trying to break away from the Leigh 25. Last tattle indicates the referee, and Leigh have not made much ground with these tattles. Kick will come in from Schubert. Fine kick ahead by Schubert. Well taken. Inside to Henderson. Is Henderson going to go all the way? Fine tattle back by both McCoy and Brand. For the third time in the game, Leigh concede a turnover to get the ball back by Howell. So a fine attacking position now for Leigh. Gelling on the charge. Stopped just a matter of feet short. Can Leigh capitalise on that bad mistake by Hull? Davies tries to go it alone, but the whole defence is there. Taburn gets it out to Cottrell. What has the referee given? He's penalised Ray Taburn for passing the ball off the floor. Certainly didn't appear to be tattled by my view, but Hull get their third penalty of this second half and escape further points from Leigh. Pearce finds touch on the far side, but both sides with all to play for now. Dick with the tap, 5 yards outside his own 25 with Gibbons. Dick attacked in halfback. Out to Crooks. Chris Johnson making the tackle. Dick now out to Sharp, to Lee Crooks. Inside to Proctor. All beginning to put their moves together. Sharp now. Good tattle by Mike Davis. 11 minutes remaining here at the Boulevard. Crooks with the kick. It's a dead ball this time. Just beats the corner flag, and Leigh will tap from their own 25. Leigh certainly in no rush. Referee has stopped the clock. So Ray Taburn with the tap onto Gelling. Gelling makes 5 yards. Taburn acting halfback. Out to Cottrell. Cottrell stopped without any ground being made. Taburn again attacked in halfback. This time goes it alone and makes 6 or 7 valuable yards as Leigh tried to drive upfield. There goes Mike Davis. He makes 10 more, but Leigh are still short of the halfway line. So Chris Johnson with a poor kick right into the arms of Brand. Brand runs through Leigh as though they're not there. But no support from the Hull players. But the whole crowd beginning to get behind their side now. Here comes Sharp. On to Crooks. Crooks gets it out to Sharp. Out to Pearce. Pearce goes outside. Well, Pearce threw that ball inside, but it was a fine cover tattle from prop forward Tony Cottrell. Saves the day for Leigh. As Phil Johnson wants to come on. Phil Johnson coming on to replace Gary Howell. Possession to Hull. Sharp now. Mallinson attacked in half-back, gets it out to Dick. Dick to Steve Crooks. Good defence from Leigh, solid tackle from John Kerr. Mallinson now out to Dick. To Pearce. Pearce is stopped short. Superb tackle by fullback Collier. He's injured himself in the process. Well, the ball is thrown away. A wild pass finds touch on the far side. That's certainly relief for Leigh. Hull wasted a golden opportunity on that occasion. Got just 8 minutes of the game remaining. Referee stops the clock. Leigh want to make a substitution. Gary Howell is coming off to be replaced by Phil Johnson. Hull supporters creating about the time wasting, but of course they won't let Johnson on until Howell goes off. So it's Mike Davis to field for Leigh, and Leigh win the scrum. And now Davis lies injured. Referee stops the clock again. Well, Leigh are in possession, just 10 yards from their own line. We've got 7 minutes of actual playing time remaining. Scoreline at the moment in this Stones Bitter Championship here at the Boulevard is Hull 23 points, Leigh 26. So Taburn on the charge. Solid defence from Sharp. Gelling now. Tattle comes in this time from Mallinson. Phil Johnson goes to acting half-back. He tries to escape the clutches of Crooks, does so, but he's tackled by Sharp. Tony Cottrell now. He runs into Proctor. And now Schubert. But Leigh are going nowhere. Good play by Hull. Last tackle indicates the referee, and Leigh have not got out of their own 25. And Leigh are penalised for not playing the ball properly. Ian Schubert claiming he was being held down. Hull electing to run it. On to Crooks. Hull desperate for a try to get back in the lead. The crowd tries to raise them. Mallinson to Dick. On to Crooks. Leigh stopped the ball in the tackle. Hull are right under those Leigh posts. The next score could be vital. There goes Dick. Gets it inside to Sharp. Good tackle from Kerr. Mallinson attacked in half-back. Kevin Dick now. On to Leigh Crooks. Pearce. McCoy breaks away. He's tackled by Schubert. The referee has wiped the slate clean for 6 more tackles. Here comes Kevin Dick. On to Leigh Crooks. Into Proctor. Good support. Good play by the Hull forwards. Solid defence required from Leigh now. Kevin Dick tries to go it alone. Stopped just short. It's all Hull at the moment. Well, the ball finally finds its way out to Paul Eastwood, who crawls over in the corner to put Hull back in the lead with just 4.5 minutes of this game remaining. Hull now lead Leigh by 27 points to 26. Well, it took a great deal of sustained pressure there by Hull to finally find the chink in the Leigh armour. John Sharp broke out of one tackle. The pass went loose, but Paul Eastwood picked up the pieces to get Hull's 5th try of the game and put them back in the lead. So Gary Pearce, a very important conversion attempt from the far touchline. Well, he fails with a kick, but Hull are back in the lead. Just 3.5 minutes remaining. Hull 27, Leigh 26. So Phil Johnson with the restart taken by Crooks. Hull will be quite content to play the tattles now. There goes Gibbons. He's tattled on the home 25 by his opposite number Gelling. Hull are now the team in no rush. Mallinson tries to go it alone. Runs into Chris Johnson. Here comes Crooks. Get back now. Mallinson out to Dick. Kick comes in from Pearce. Taken by McCulloch. He's stopped by McCoy, but what can Leigh do now in these closing 2 minutes? Henderson goes it alone, runs into Proctor.
Offside on your right.
Davis now to Phil Johnson. Phil Johnson out to Davis, to Schubert. Poor pass. Gibbons makes the tackle. Taburn attacked in half-back. To Mike Davis. To Cottrell. Cottrell tries to straighten it up. Stopped just short of the 25. There goes Kerr. Ball's lost. Carry on, says the referee. Taburn still going. Last tattle indicates the referee. Drop goal comes in from Chris Johnson. That's wild. Just escapes the clutches of the diving Neil McCulloch, and Hull will be quite content to tap from their own 25. And they're in no rush at all to do it. Finally, referee Holdsworth stops the clock for time wasting, with 1 minute of normal time remaining as Gibbons on the charge for Hull. Runs into Schubert and Phil Johnson. Mallinson gets the ball. Leigh pinched the ball, but were too slow to drop on it. Here comes Steve Crooks. Dick attacked in half-back. Sit out to Leigh Crooks. Hull will do nothing silly now. Proctor now. Good defence from Schubert. Kick comes in from Crooks. Well taken by fullback Collier. Tries to burst through Sharp and O'Hara. Leigh are back in possession, but there's only 10 seconds of normal time remaining. Henderson tries to go it alone. Leigh have got to find some inspiration from somewhere. There goes Cottrell. Gelling now. Davis out to Cottrell to Schubert. Out to Henderson. Hull swarm all over Leigh. The last tackle indicates referee Holdsworth. Kerr with the kick. Ball back. They'll scrum it 5 yards inside the Leigh half. Kevin Dick has been named the Hull man of the match in today's game, played before a crowd of 5,721. Hull win possession at the scrum. Sharp goes it alone. Tattle by Phil Johnson. Hull are not bothered, they just want to waste tattles at the moment. Leigh Crooks. Tattled again by Schubert. Sharp. Tony Cottrell picks Sharp up to try and get on with it. There goes Steve Crooks. Last tattle indicates the referee. Pierce now gets it out. He's finally with O'Hara. McCulloch gets a hand to it. He's tattled. Leigh have possession. There goes Kerr. There's no way past Eastwood. Leigh must give the ball some air, and it's thrown away widely, picked up by Atherton. No one wanted the ball. Desperate straits. We've had 2 minutes of injury time. There goes Taburn. Still play on, says Leigh, the referee. Leigh stopped inside their own 25. The referee's given the last tattle. Schubert kicks ahead, taken by Steve Crooks for Hull. Leigh down to 12 men at the moment. Cottrell being treated by the physio. There goes Gibbons on the charge for Hull. Out to Hick. Mallinson attacked in half-back. On to Proctor. Mallinson on to Sharp. Sharp breaks clear, and that settles it, if it wasn't settled already. A try by John Sharp in injury time puts it beyond Leigh's reach. Hull now lead by 31 points to 26, with a conversion attempt to follow. So Gary Pearce, this ex-Welsh Rugby Union standoff, with the conversion attempt in his first game for the Hull club. He's kicked 3 goals so far this afternoon. But he fails with that one. So the hooter goes, and Leigh have been defeated here at the Boulevard in this Stones Bitter Championship. They've lost to Hull by 31 points to 26. Try scorers for Hull, 1 each from Dane O'Hara, Michael Brand, Mick Crane, Carl McCoy, Paul Eastwood and John Sharp. 3 goals from Gary Pearce and a drop goal from Leigh Crooks. Leigh's points, a try each from Tony Cottrell, John Henderson, Brian Gelling and Phil Fox. 5 goals from Chris Johnson. So on behalf of your cameraman Jeff Unsworth, this is your match commentator Derek Disley saying goodbye from the Boulevard with a final reminder of today's scoreline. Hull 31 points, Leigh 26.